What's up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Richard and I'm the guy in the red suit. Today I want to talk about the new Hearthstone expansion called Journey to Ungoro. Actually, I want to review the first 20 cards that got released already. The expansion itself seems pretty promising, so let's have a look at the first card. The first card is called Volcano. It deals 15 damage, randomly split among all minions with 2 overload for 5 mana. It's, I guess, a pretty good card if it's played defensively. Could compare it to a Flame Strike or maybe a Blizzard, but I think more like a Flame Strike because the mana and the overload equals 7. So a Flame Strike is also a 7 mana spell that deals 4 damage. You actually would have to hit 4 minions with Flame Strike to get some kind of the same effect, I guess. If the enemy minions have higher health, then Volcano is way better because you can kill one minion, a single minion with over 10 health, and it's just gonna explode. The damage is not gonna hit face of the enemy, which is A, really good because you can't go face with it, and B, it's also really good because the random element that it's split amongst all minions is more controllable. So I think it's a pretty good card. I'm not sure if it's gonna be played, maybe in some kind of control shaman, but I really don't think that there is some kind of control shaman. Maybe it's going to be played in some kind of shade shaman, I guess, that play a little bit more of the late game, so Volcano would be better, but I'm not sure. Out of 10 points, I would give it a solid 5 for the 5 mana, and yeah, it could be really good or go really bad. Up next we have Pyros, the mage legendary. So every class gets 2 legendaries, one is the quest and the other one is a minion. So this is the mage minion and it's a 2 mana 2/2 with a death rattle that it returns to your hand as a 6 mana 6/6, which again dies and will return as a 10 mana 10/10 without any death rattle. So a 2 mana 2/2 is not that good, it's actually really bad. 6 mana 6/6 with the death rattle is also not that great. And the 10 mana 10/10 of course is, in my opinion, really bad because it's wasting all your mana and it's just one minion that get hexed or Shadow Word Death or whatever. So it's just gonna die. The interesting part of this card is that it has the elemental tag, which means if there are coming more cards that support the elemental tag, it will get buffed a lot. So this card may be really good, but I really doubt it, so it gets a 2 out of 10. Next up we have Verdant Longneck, a druid card, a 5 mana 5/4, which is really bad with the battle cry Adapt. Adapt is the new keyword where you can choose between, you can discover an adapt mechanism between 10 possible adapt mechanisms, so it's some kind of random. There are, for example, the adapt is one is taunt, one gives it free health, I guess, one makes it immune to get targeted by spells and hero powers, and so on and so on. I think this card is pretty bad if you count the adapt as some kind of value like taunt, I guess, because taunt is a really expensive keyword for its mana cost. So a 5 mana 5/4 is with taunt is so bad because it has been there in Classic. I am not sure what the card is called currently, but I will show it to you. And there has been a 4 mana 5/4 with taunt. So Verdant Longneck is, compared to this card, really shitty. Even more shittier because it's a class card, and class cards should be a little bit stronger, but it's a druid card, so I'm some kind of happy because I think all this shade power druid has is going insane after the expansion, and yeah, This is a 0 out of 10 for me. It's never gonna be played. It's such a bad card. It has the beast tag, but I think Stranglethorn Tiger, the 5-mana 5/5 with stealth, is way better. And yeah, I think it just sucks. So 0 out of 10. Up next we have the Priest Legendary Quest, which is a spell. And it was the first spell that got revealed. It's pretty interesting. You always have it in your mulligan phase, so you can choose to mulligan it away if you maybe need some more early game and you have to have your 1-drop, but you can always keep it, so you can activate the quest, or you can start the quest on turn 1 for each game. The Priest one says, quest summons 7 Death Rattle minions, which is not that hard. It's also summon, which means you can play Onyx Bishop, which resummons a minion that died this game, and if it resummons a Death Rattle minion, it count goes up by 1. So I think 7 Death Rattle minions is not that hard. You can do it, I guess, on turn 5 or 6 maybe. And the reward is Amara, Warden of Hope, which is a 5-mana 8/8 legendary, of course, minion with taunt, which is really huge. And its battle cry is to set your own hero's health to 40, which is awesome, which is a Reno effect plus 10 health. This is great, but I'm really afraid of Jade Druid and Jade Shaman, so maybe the Reno effect is not that helpful, and the Death Rattle minions are not that good, but maybe Priest gets a lot of Death Rattle minions that support it. And on this hand, it's a really great card, it's a really great quest, and I'm definitely gonna try it out. I think the Priest quest looks really promising. It's also the, in my opinion, highest rated quest at the moment. I'm not sure. I mean, Priest, if the metagame slows down and there are more Death Rattle minions and taunt minions, then maybe Priest is going to be really good. Maybe Mind Control is having a comeback if it slows down enough. I think so. I think all those big minions like Deathwing are seeing a lot more play due to all the Jade decks. So I think this card is really good, the Priest spell, and it gets a solid 7 out of 10. Up next we have Gentle Megasaur, 4-mana 5/4, which adapts all your Murlocs on the battlefield, and it's a beast. I think Murloc cards are not that great, so it's only going to be useful in Shaman, because Shaman are getting a shit ton of Murloc support or quests. I think it will be the only class to play Murlocs where you need to adapt them. I don't see it in the Murloc Paladin deck, and I am not gonna see it somewhere else. If you're playing Murlocs, you wanna play Murlocs and card draw and spells, but not this card. And compared to the Druid card, it's way better. It has the same stats for 1 less mana. I mean, the battle cry is a little bit different, but yeah. And it's a neutral, so yeah, it's a 2 out of 10, I guess. Up next we have Explore Tungoro, a warrior 2-mana spell, which replaces your deck with copies of Discover a Card. Those Discover a Cards are 1-mana spells, and you discover a card. Those cards can be, I guess, minions and spells. I'm not sure about weapons. I hope so. Pretty fun card, but also pretty bad card. You could react to some kind of game plans, but it replaces your complete deck with copies of Discover a Card. So you don't have any class cards or neutral cards left in your deck, like you had with Renown's Darkness, the Warlock 2-mana spell. So I think this card is only for fun purposes, and it's really bad, and it gets 1 out of 10. Maybe it's viable, but I guess not. The next card is a 4-mana 2/6 Priest minion with Taunt, which by itself is okay, I guess. I don't think it's that great, but the death rattle is the interesting part because due to the quest, the death rattle gives a random friendly minion +1/+1, and so that it's like this card has taunt, so it protects another minion and it will give a buff. Not like the minion we had before, the Dark Cultist, the 3 mana 3/4 that has the death rattle and gave a friendly minion more health. So this card is way better, and I think it's gonna see a lot of play in if the aggro portion of the game stays alive. But it's not gonna be enough because the death rattle is not good enough against all those control decks or high-end decks. I can't really tell how it's going to be played or how much or how good it is, but I think it's going to be mediocre and pretty okay. Then we have the Warlock quest, Lakari's Sacrifice, a quest where you have to discard 6 cards, and as a reward you get the Nether Portal, a 5 mana spell, which then summons a portal, and at the end of each turn you get 2 free 2 imps on each side of the portal, so you have 3 spaces already and then only 4 spaces for minions left. Is this card any good? I think at the moment it's pretty hard to get the quest achieved early in the game. I think it will be on turn 9 or 10 maybe, where you really achieve the quest, so you can get the portal, and then for 5 mana you summon a 6/4 or 2 3/2s at the end of your turn. I don't think that it's that great. I think the cost is too high. Maybe they need some more discard mechanics. Maybe there is more coming, but at the current state I don't think that this card is really good, so it's a 3 out of 10. Then we have Lakari Fellhound, a 4 mana 3/8 with taunt, which is amazing. It's a Sanjin Shieldmaster with 3 more health, but the battle cry is discard 2 cards, which could be really good in the discard Warlock, but I think it will be way better in a Zoo Warlock, where you just don't have any minions in your hand. So play this, and it's a 4 mana 3/8 with taunt, which protects your 1 mana cards. So I think it's going to see play in Zoo Warlock a lot more often than in discard Warlock, because I don't see discard Warlock working at the moment. And I think this is a really strong card. I think this is a 6 out of 10. It's good. It's not the best, but it's definitely not bad. Up next we have a mage card, Arcanologist, a 2 mana 2/3 minion, which by itself is a vanilla minion, and the battle cry draws you a secret from your deck. So you can specify to draw a secret if you play only 2 secret, like 2 times your ice block and 2 times Arcanologist. You mulligan for this minion, and then on turn 2 you can play it, and then you can play Ice Block on turn 3, because you always have it. Is this card any good? I think not, because Freeze Mage is losing Icelands because it's going into wild, and all those secret synergy cards are not that great, so I think this card is okay. In Arena it's great, but in Constructed it's okay. It's a 4 out of 10 in my opinion. And then we have Elise the Trailblazer. This is the new Elise legendary card, which is a 5 mana 5/5 neutral and shuffles an Ungoro pack in your deck as a battle cry. What is an Ungoro pack? It's a 2 mana spell where you have this unpacking animation, and then you put 5 Ungoro cards in your hand. Those cards could be from every class, and its rarity should be really high, so I guess they said that at least 1 legendary should be in every pack. So is this card going to be any good? I think it's better than Prince Malchazar. It's a control card, of course, but I don't think it's gonna be that good. I mean, don't get me wrong, to get 5 cards for 2 mana is great. It's more like a fun card, I guess, or maybe some kind of filler card if you don't have any plan what to put in your deck. And the next card is the Golakka Crawler, which is a 2-mana 2/3, a vanilla card. Has the beast tag, which is good because most of the time beast is really expensive. And its battle cry is to destroy pirate and gain +1/+1. I think this is a pretty good card for Hunter because it has a beast tag and it's countering all those pirates, but you can also eat your own pirates. So I think it's also going to help all those pirate warriors and pirate rogue and so on to get an even bigger beast at the start. Maybe there is going to be an aggro hunter with pirate support. Who knows? I'm not really happy to see this card or to handle all those pirate decks like this, because it's really hard to predict who gets more value out of this card. Is it either going to be a pirate deck or is it the counterpart to the pirate deck? So I guess it's an okay card. It's maybe a 3 out of 10 because it's too situational. The next card is a Paladin card, 8 mana spell, Dino Size, which sets a minion's attack and health to 10. So in other words, you could say that you have a minion with 1 mana or 2 mana minion with charge, and you can deal 10 damage to the face or to any minion. It's a 2-card Pyroblast, if you see it like that. Is this great? I don't think so. If you already have board control as a Paladin, you are, in my opinion, already winning. So it's more kind of the win more card, but only to have this burst spell or burst mechanism that requires 2 cards. I think it's not going to be good enough to summon a 1/1 dude and then buff it to a 10/10. Could be okay. In Arena it's of course a great card, but in Constructed it's only a 4 out of 10. Next card is the Rogue Legendary Minion, which is a 4-mana 5/3, which is really bad. And the Death Rattle states go dormant, play 4 cards in the turn to revive this minion. Whenever this dies, it's taking up a minion slot on the board. It can't be targeted, of course. And if you play 4 cards, then this minion gets revived. So you could get infinite value out of this card. But to play 4 cards in Rogue is hard, and only if you play Miracle. But are you going to play Miracle with this minion, or are you going to play Arcane Giant or other minions in Miracle? And I guess the answer is no, you don't. And playing 4 cards is really expensive. You only have 30 cards. So I think this minion at max gets revived once. So I think this is a pretty bad Rogue Legendary, and it only gets a 2 out of 10 from me. Up next we have Tar Creeper, which is a 3-mana 1/5 with Taunt. It's already a better Umgum Rager and Silverback Patriarch. The upside of this is it gains 2 attack during your opponent's turn. So it's a 3-mana 3/5, which is awesome. And it's a really defensive card because it's going back to 1. And it also has the elemental tag, and maybe there are coming more support cards for elemental. I think this card is really good. It could be playable also in Sue, but you will deal less damage, but you could protect your own minions. So I think this card could be used in control and aggressive decks, and also mid-range decks. So it's getting a 9 out of 10 from me. I think this card is great, and I'll definitely play it in a lot of my decks. Then we have the Hunter Legendary Minion, which is a 7-mana 9/9 Swamp King Dread, and it says after your opponent plays a minion, attack it. So when your opponent plays a minion, it has to attack even though it's not Swamp King Dread's turn. And I think this card sucks because you can easily kill it with Hex, Polymorph, Shadow Word Death, whatever, name it. And you could play Adapt minions that get Poisonous, the new keyword for whenever this minion attacks another minion, it dies. and then Swamp King Dread just horribly dies when it attacks the first minion and you've wasted 7 mana. So I guess Swamp King Dread is a solid 0 out of 10. Up next we have a 1 mana 1/1, the next 1 mana 1/1 in the game, and it's for Priest. It's called Crystalline Oracle. It has a Death Rattle, copy a card from your opponent's deck and add it to your hand, which is a great card, and it's going to have this quest mechanic of Priest. So yeah, getting a card from your opponent's deck is always good, because your opponent's deck has always better cards than the Priest. So Crystalline Oracle is a must play in every deck, I guess, and it's a 1 mana play, and Priest doesn't have any beside Northshire Cleric, and Northshire Cleric is not gonna be played on turn 1. So Crystalline Oracle, great card, maybe a little bit too strong, but great card, 8 out of 10. Then we have the Paladin legendary called Sunkeeper Tarim, a 6 mana 3/7 with Taunt. Battle cries set all other minions attack and health to 3. So it's basically like Keeper of Uldaman, and it sets all minions to 3/3, so it could tank 2 and maybe up to 3 opponent minions. That's gonna help a lot, but I'm not sure if it's going to be that good. It of course buffs your own minions, your own dudes, make those 1/1s 3/3s. But how often are you going to have a lot of minions on your own side that are 1/1s? Not very often. So in my opinion, this card is only played defensively and not offensively, and to protect something it's okay, I guess. Maybe it's like this oh shit button, and it could be compared to Eadric the Pure, but did Eadric the Pure see any play? And the answer is no, so I am not sure if this card is going to see a lot of play, so it's a 4 out of 10 for me. Up next we have a 2 mana spell for Priest called Shadow Visions, and it discovers a copy of a spell in your deck, not your opponent's deck, in your deck, which is really great, because you could play this card and only maybe 4 other spells or 3, and you could always choose between your spells that you want to get. Maybe you want to get another Shadow Word Death, maybe you want to get a Mind Control against Shade, and so on. So you could cycle this card for a spell in your deck. Okay, the spell costs 2 more, but I think that is going to be good enough. Is this card going to see play in a lot of decks? I guess no. It's really hard to predict, so let's wait and see. I guess 5 out of 10, because I'm not sure if it's going to be a little bit too good or too bad. And last but not least, we have Clutch Mother Savas. It's a 2 mana 2/2 Warlock minion. It's the legendary minion for Warlocks, and it states whenever you discard this, give it +2/+2 and return it to your hand, which sounds pretty amazing, I know, but you have to keep it in your hand for as long as possible and have to discard other cards, and you have to play the discard quest, I guess, so to get all those discard mechanics. If this card gets discarded, it's coming back in your hand. Is it going to see a lot of play? And the answer is, I think, no. If I compare to Edwin Van Cleef, the rogue 2/2 for 3 mana that gets +2/+2 for each card that has been played this turn. I think the tempo is way too slow, but maybe this card, Warlock, is going to be really overpowered, but I don't think so, so I don't rate this card really high. It's probably some kind of 6 out of 10. It has a lot of potential, but I don't think it will take over the meta. So that's it for the first 20 cards, I guess. I hope you like my opinion on all of those, and tell me in the comments if you agree or disagree with something of what I said. Until the next one, and if you enjoyed this video, give it a like, and as always, tell a friend about the guy in the red suit.